What happens when you take two famous animal keepers to a reptile convention to select their dream pet collection? In this video, we're gonna find out. In order to do this, we have Tyler Ruggie and M from M Exotic at Tinley and RBC picking their absolute favorite animals. And at the end, we're gonna let you guys have a chance to actually vote on who you think picked the better animals. And the thing is, they don't know they're competing against each other. Some of these animals were insanely expensive. We even almost lost one. Every March and October, hundreds of vendors flock to Chicago, bringing thousands of animals in a multitude of species. When I have too many options, it makes it so hard to pick just one. So asking two people to narrow it down to just 4 animals is gonna be impossible. Luckily, these two have a pretty good eye for picking out some of the coolest animals on the block.
So number one, I have something really exciting on hold. This is an Extreme by Pangea. She's got a really nice drippy pattern down the side there, and you can see she's got a really nice bright solid dorsal. You can also see she's got really nice big wide head. I call that a stingray head. I think that they're absolutely beautiful, and they've got these big floppy crests. I love the white pattern along her laterals as well. She's just absolutely stunning. A really nice Extreme Harlequin over here.
Now, I forgot to ask Emma what the price on this guy was, but looking at Pangea's website, you can see that these guys go for about $1,000. Great first pick by M. Let's see what Tyler picked.
So here we have a cappuccino crested gecko. They're just really cool. Like, they're a kind of newer morph of crested gecko. As you can see, like, this one is super dark. You don't see a lot of crested geckos that are this dark. There's just so many possibilities with what cappuccinos can do with other morphs and just other geckos. We still don't know a lot about them. It's one of the morphs that I don't have yet, and I would just love to be able to work with them and experiment with them with my different breeding projects.
What does this guy go for?
$8K for a crested gecko.
$8,000 for a crested gecko, that's like 1,200 gallons of chocolate milk. Awesome first pick by Tyler. Who do you think won that round? Well, let's move on to round 2.
Okay, so next on the list, we're right here where there is an adult Mexican black king snake. They're actually one of my favorite king snakes. I actually really like them for beginners as well. And whilst I've had a lot more experience with them, they're still exciting to me. There's very few other snakes out there that are as eye-catching, so it's a solid black snake. When you find one that has, you know, really good body condition, no like white scales on there, like pure black, really good iridescence along the belly scales, they are so eye-catching. It's almost like an oil slick down their belly scales. Currently going for $375, which is crazy because a few years ago, literally going for thousands for adults.
Wow, that snake looks unreal in real life. Only $375. I don't know how Tyler's gonna be able to beat that.
So here we have Sri Lankan leaf nose. Sorry, we have Sri Lankan leaf nose. I cannot speak. Sri Lankan leaf nose lizards. They're just like, I honestly don't know a ton about them, so it's like I wouldn't actually bring it home with me today, but they just look really weird, like really interesting. Their nose, they just look so weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really fascinating, and it's just something that I like want to look into more.
And they're just sitting there like...
They're so small, so it's kind of hard to like see. Yeah, they have the pictures right there of, you can really see what they look like there. Yeah, they look awesome.
Do you know where these guys are native to at all?
Sri Lanka, maybe?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
That's my guess. I'm not sure though.
I'm no scientist, but
yeah, not an expert, but.
Tyler's pick was $250, and would you believe that Sri Lankan leaf nose geckos, get this, come from Sri Lanka? Who would have thought? We're about halfway through the rounds. Things are starting to heat up. Moving on to round 3.
So over here we have the Vietnamese Blue Beauty snake. This is one of my top 3 snakes. They're incredible. They actually get to be around 7-8 feet that I've seen for females. Males slightly smaller, but they are not very popular with the average keeper because they are flighty and bitey. They have a lot of attitude, a lot of beauty to go with that attitude, but something that I'm really passionate about is dedicating time and space to the underrepresented species. And these are making a bit of a comeback in recent months. I can see more people wanting to work with them, but when they get to be adults, sometimes they're sort of like creamy, almost like a highlighter yellow at the tail, but when you get a really nice true blue and white base, to me there's nothing else. They truly are a beautiful snake. And I kind of like it when my animals are a little bit spicy as well. I like those that are a bit of a challenge. No offense to ball pythons, but there's no real challenge there. Whereas with these, like you have to give them a really great setup, give them lots of nice height, a lot of small places to hide in as well. And they're so active during the daytime as well. These are never going to be boring. They'll keep you on your toes, and they're just adorable as babies when they are trying to be ferocious. It's like, oh, bless.
For only $1,000 a pair, you too could be the owner of some beautiful attitude. What do you guys think? Do you like snakes with a little more personality and a challenge? What a great third pick from M. Let's see what Tyler's gonna pick next.
So here we have these Agornia Hasmeri. I don't know. I'm not like good at the scientific names, you know? But Agornias, just in general, I love them. They're really cool. I mean, look at them. They're just insane. And again, not something you see all the time, so there you go. That just draws me straight to it. Their scales kind of overlap a lot, you can see, and they're very spiky looking, especially like around their head, almost like a pine coney kind of look. It's not like the type of scales you normally see on a lot of lizards. A proven pair is $4,500. Not the cheapest, but also not as much as the crested gecko was.
At $4,500 a pair, Tyler's pick was over $3,000 more expensive than M's pick, which is insane. Who do you think won that round? Comment below. Let's move on to round 4.
All right, so over here we have a het axanthic mandarin snake. Normally they don't have this sort of like reddish pattern over here.
Your nails.
It does, right? My Reese's Pieces nails. But these are a great species, very, very underrepresented. I would love to dedicate some space to breeding. And when I saw this, I was just like, oh, this is an amazing species. They're actually pretty laid back as adults as well. And they get to be quite a nice meaty size too.
Are we talking like a medium big snake?
Like kind of like a little bit bigger than a ball python, ever so slightly, not as fat, but about the same kind of length. So really don't need a ton of space for them. And I just have a thing for my Asian species. I mean, growing up in Asia, I just kind of have a natural affinity for them. And I see a lot of these animals coming in as wild caught imports. They are definitely something I'd love to see more of within the hobby. It gets kind of boring when people breed the same stuff over and over. So I'd love to see more people focusing and dedicating a bit of space to breeding something with a bit more spice. They're buttery smooth.
I like this spot right here.
See that little target spot right there? To me, they're just super stunning. It's almost like keeping a venomous that's not venomous. They're that beautiful. This one's going for $850 because it is a het axanthic. More common ones you can find probably like $500, $600 right now.
So as of this video, the snake price is going to just shoot through the ceiling because of this promotional, so hop on this early. Great final selection by M. With its stunning color and somewhat affordable price of $850, what is there not to love about this guy? After that beautiful animal, I can't wait to see what Tyler's last pick of the day is. But then we ran into a big problem. The animal that Tyler had originally picked had been sold. And to make matters worse, we were getting kicked out, so there was no time to lose. If we didn't act fast, it was gonna be impossible to go back and shoot again the next day. Just in the nick of time, we found the perfect animal.
So here we have Strophoris celeris, and I have... Come on! All right. So I actually have a couple types of Strophoris. We have Strophoris tanicata and Strophoris spinigerus. So this is one that we don't have, which is one of the reasons why I would want to get one.
Ooh, its little tail spines are so cute.
Yeah, they have little like spines on their tail, which it looks really cool. And what's also really interesting about them is they have secretory glands on their tail, like the top part of their tail. So as a defense mechanism, they shoot a liquid out of the glands on the top of their tail.
Oh, that's exciting. Like
they'll lift their tail up and just shoot it out of a bunch of their glands. It's like a sticky, gross liquid, and that's like their defense mechanism. Just watching them is really cool. And they're from Australia, so they're actually like arid geckos.
Okay.
So you keep them dry. Again, not a lot of people work with them. I think they're really underrated. Like more people should have them. So yeah, I love them.
Now it's your turn. Go to our community tab, click on the poll we have there, and vote on who you thought picked the better animals. Huge thank you to Tyler and M. Make sure to check out their channels linked in the description. Guys, we had so much fun walking around the Reptile Expo and seeing all of the crazy animals. If you want to see a video with Brian Kuska where he and I go shopping at Tinley, make sure to click on this video.